guys, welcome back to my channel. This time it will be a story time because there will be like 2 to 3 parts to this story time, and for our special guest it is Koya from the BT21 collection, part of BTS. You know how I feel about them. Anyway, he'll be here to comfort me. And yeah, so we're gonna do a supernatural ghost story type situation. Like could be 2 to 3 parts because the first part, which is right now, is gonna be about my life when I lived in Brooklyn, around like Flatbush. I lived around Flatbush, Cortelli, Beverly Road, like around there. Anyway, so part 2 is when I lived in Canarsie, also in Brooklyn, basically almost on the other side of Brooklyn, but still, ghosting still happened to me. And part 3 is my life right now in Queens, even though they do say that children get more like paranormal activity, but that kind of has never stopped with me. Like, I always get paranormal. I get in situations with the paranormal, and yeah, I feel like right now is a good time to talk about them. But yeah, I want to talk about them now. I find them really interesting how much paranormal stories I have, so that's why I want to like put them out to the world, because most paranormal stories is in 3 parts in 3 different areas. It's not like one place is haunted and another. It's me. I'm convinced it's me. If anybody says any otherwise, you better be an expert, or also have paranormal experiences. So up first is when I was from the age of, my first paranormal experience was when I was like probably 11 to like 13. That's when I lived most of my life in like the first place. So that would be cool to talk about. So that's when I was younger. I was convinced it was just when I was like a kid. Because I was a kid, preteen, whatever. So my first number 1 thing was that that one day I was walking. I walked home and everything. I went into that apartment, and my apartment, like that, my parents' apartment during that time. And I usually like from school, I would like put my book bag down on like the couch and play my computer games, whatever, like not whatever, like it was in the corner of the living room. So basically I had a heavy book bag, but that's middle school. Every middle schooler had a heavy book bag, not gonna lie. So that's just like, it's for later on. You'll see how that connects. So it's not my first, or like that was my first experience, but that's like true full experience. Like, so I put it on the couch. Like, we had 2 couches on one side, right? And then like a coffee table and another, what is it? Like lazy boy situation, like recliners. So we had a recliner, the 2 couches, and the coffee table, and then the computer table, whatever. So I put my book bag on the closer couch, right? And it's a heavy book bag, so I just launch it there, and it sticks. So I go to the computer and I'm just like typing away, watching YouTube, playing games on like y8.com or something like that. So I'm playing the game, and then I hear a thud. So I'm thinking that, oh man, my book bag fell. Now I gotta go put it back. So I turned around. And then tell me why my book bag is on the other couch. The other couch. So I thought my book bag fell, but turns out it's on another couch. And I ignored it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm not dealing with anything. Today, I was like probably like 11 years old. I was like, I'm not dealing with that today. So I just kept playing, and that was it. Like, I wasn't like even scared. I was more annoyed than scared. So that happened. And yeah. And then, so that's what I remember. There's like two more to this. Two more stories, and that really came out to me. So living in that same place, I had my room, and I hated that room because it gave me such a creepy feel. But what else am I supposed to do about it? Nothing. So I had a creepy feel. The room was always cold, but later I found out like the owners didn't put insulation in that specific room, but still, like, I thought that was creepy. So second one really means a lot to me, regardless of my family saying. It really meant a lot to me about that moment. So for background purposes, my grandfather had Alzheimer's. So that is like a really, bad, like it hurts. It's a hurtful disease that happens, and you just gotta live through it one day by another. And me being like 12, most likely 12, I was confused. I wasn't really, like, obviously not that educated with that situation, and like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, it was hard. Nobody really explained it well to me. They just said that he's not gonna remember, and it hurt because, like, there's times where I was like, hey grandpa, and he didn't remember who I was. And he was like one of my best friends, and it was a hard time for all of us. And I was actually scared because I didn't know what to do. I wasn't acknowledged. I wasn't educated, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, so this was the night that my grandfather died, may he rest in peace. And he died, and my mom was in Panama, so she was with him, and it was just me and my dad, because that's my mom's side, and it was just me and my dad. We were just chilling, and one day, like that same night that he died, I woke up, and I saw this dark shadow in the corner of my room. Mind you, my room is like, like this, right? And the two windows here, and then there's like a little corner right there. So he was there. That's what I interpret as what he was. That was him. That was my interpretation, that was him. And he was like waving, and I was like, I waved back, and I felt that was like his goodbye. And I was just like, maybe he did remember me. Like, once he finally let go, he did remember me. So that was like a really not powerful, but it really impacted me. It was just like, maybe he still remembered me. Maybe am I the only one who sees this, or this is just me? And yeah, so that's number 2 of my paranormal experience. And then there's also the last one. The last one wasn't like, I like how I just went so casual to the next one. I told this story so many times. Yes, it still hurts, but I think it's good to take it off my chest. And yeah, I told this too many times. I'm not gonna lie, just too many times. But third one is very weird, honestly. Just like very, very weird. I don't know if I was like sleep deprived. But I don't know how like an 11-year-old could be sleep deprived, or 13. I think 11-year-old. Yeah, 11-year-old was like sleep deprived with all this. So basically, I think it was summer, and I was an 11-year-old who had friends that were like close, but not that close. So we couldn't hang out every single day. So guess what I did most of my summer? I literally watched TV until midnight, and I went to sleep. So one night I was in the living room in the Lazy Boy recliner. It wasn't even Lazy Boy. I think that's how I just knew. But it was just a regular old recliner, and I was just watching TV. And I woke up, and I'm seeing like 3 faces in front of me, and like I was like, what? And I thought I was like sleep deprived. I thought like like I'm dreaming, but there's like 3 faces like whooshing in my face. So I was like, I'm not doing this right now. I am not doing this right now. So I got up and I went to bed, and that's all I did. Very anticlimactic. This whole 3 stories, very anticlimactic. But I feel like I have too many ghost experiences to even like talk about, to even like put into like what, maybe a 15-minute video. This is gonna be 10 minutes. I'm gonna edit some things out, but it's weird. It's really weird. And that was just from maybe 11 to 12. 13. I was probably 13. I don't really know my ages like that, but it's from 11 to 13 years old. They're the 3 stories that really like came out to me. Honestly, I feel like I told the story bad, but this is a one take thing. I'm not doing another take.